What was the homework yesterday, guys? 6 a.m. class. Uh, 6:15 a.m. It was 23rd of August yesterday, right? That file is here. Okay. So there was no homework in the practice book. We were talking about the story of ice cream. We were reading the text, guys, yesterday. And as per my efforts and promise, I tried to start early. I will try to be even earlier tomorrow, okay? I will try to start the class at 6 o'clock, hopefully from next week instead of 6:15. Let's carry on what we were reading. Yeah, Italian noblewoman Catherine de' Medici was a great fan of ice cream, and in 1533, she married Henry II of France. She married the king and introduced him to the delicious dessert. Introduced him to the delicious dessert. When you read phrases like this, my dear students, I know your education of English, the way you have studied, okay? You know the word introduce, okay? But you need to learn this woman, Catherine, introduced her husband to ice cream. Basically, this is what is written now. She introduced him to the delicious dessert. What was the delicious dessert here? It was ice cream. So she introduced her husband to ice cream. She introduced her husband to ice cream means her husband ate ice cream for the first time because of her, right? She introduced him to ice cream. So suppose you invite me to a party at home and then I come, then you introduce me to your father. He says, sir, Papa, meet my dad. Okay. Oh, sorry, Papa, meet my teacher. What the hell? I'm sorry, guys. Where are you guys? What has happened to you guys? I said, Papa, meet my dad, and you guys are all cool, calm, okay, no problems. Oh, I don't believe it. What are you doing? You would say, Papa, meet my teacher. I don't believe you guys were quiet there. Okay. So introduced her husband to the delicious dessert. Later, आगे चल के बाद में, later, learn how people use this word alone. Later, Charles I of England became an ice cream fan when his French chef. So listen, from Italy, ice cream has already reached France, okay? Because this woman, Italian woman, Catherine, she married the French king, Henry II, right? And now she introduced her husband to ice cream. She made ice cream for her husband. Now her husband also knows what ice cream is. So ice cream has reached from Italy to France. But notice, until this time, ice cream is only enjoyed by people, rich people, powerful people, the king, the queens, the aristocrats. They are only eating ice cream. It is not available to common people. Okay, notice this. Later, now that it is in France, ice cream has reached France. Later, आगे चल के बाद में, Charles I of England. Okay, Charles I of England became an ice cream fan. Became an ice cream fan, guys. Charles I of England. Charles I, king. Okay, Charles I was also a king of England. Okay, he became an ice cream fan of ice cream, an ice cream fan, a fan of ice cream, an ice cream fan. When his French chef, notice, made it for a royal banquet. Okay, so ice cream had already reached France from Italy, and there was relation between England and France. So a French chef who was working for the King Charles the First, so he made ice cream for a royal banquet. What is a royal banquet? A banquet is a feast, students. A banquet is a feast. You still have banquet halls where people, have their marriages, parties, big halls, banquet halls. Banquet halls means basically, literally, it means a hall where you can have a feast. F-E-A-S-T, feast, is a noun which refers to an event where lots of people sit together and eat. Lots of people sit together and eat. This event is called a feast. In Hindi, we call it a bhoj. Okay. So banquet, royal banquet. Banquet is another word for feast. Okay. Banquet is another word for feast. So a royal banquet, royal means related to the king. So the king threw this feast, he threw this party. Okay. So his French chef made ice cream for a royal banquet, and Charles the first time ate ice cream, and he became an ice cream fan. He called it cream ice. So this King Charles the First called this dish cream ice. He called it cream ice. अभी तक नाम देखिए क्या क्या चल रहा है. Cream ice नाम दिया उसने, and paid his chef 500 pounds. And we are talking about the 16th century. All right. If you calculate the value of this 500 pounds today, I think it will be in millions, okay? If not billions, it will definitely be in millions. So the king paid his chef 500 pounds. Why? To keep the recipe secret. And this tells you the attitude of the kings and queens in those days. They wanted to feel special in every sense. Now, this chef made ice cream, French chef. So the king said, hey, listen, don't share this recipe with anybody, okay? Here is 500 pounds for you, but don't share this with anybody. Why did he do that? Because he thought every time he would throw a party, his chef would make ice cream and people would like it so much. And they would all say, oh, King Charles, you are so great. Your parties are so special. You cook, you have some very, very special things in your party, on your menu. Wow. So he didn't want this ice cream to reach other people, So he paid his chef 500 pounds. And what was the money for? He paid this amount, this money, to keep the recipe secret. To keep the recipe secret. However, in 1665, about 100 years, later, some years later, in 1665, it appeared. What appeared? The recipe. Keep the recipe secret. However, it appeared. The recipe appeared in an English cookery book. It did not remain a secret. All right. It appeared in an English cookery book by Lady Anne Fanshawe. Lady Anne Fanshawe wrote an English cookery book. Okay. She wrote a cookery book and she was from England. So she wrote it in English. So it was an English cookbook. A cookery book is a book in which you have recipes. Cookery book or cookbook. All right. She called it icy cream. In that book, she did not call the dish cream ice. She changed the name icy cream. For many years, ice cream was a luxury. It was a luxury. enjoyed only by royalty and the rich.
Good morning,
It
sir.
was a low Kanak. For many years, ice cream was a luxury, enjoyed only by royalty and the rich. It was a luxury enjoyed only by royalty. Royalty means, I told you, the king and the queen and their family, they're called the royalty. And the rich, the aristocrats and other people. It was on a luxury enjoyed only by these people. Means ice cream was not available to common people. It wasn't until 1686 that ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu. Nearly the end of the 17th century, okay? Nearly the end of the 17th century. 1686 means the 17th century is almost coming to an end. And then ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu. Restaurant is for common people. If a dish is on a restaurant menu, if a dish is available in a restaurant, then anybody can order it. So this happened finally in 1686. It wasn't until 1686 that ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu. All those students who value grammar, who want to learn English for exams and everything, they should focus on this part. It wasn't until 1686 that ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu. Something happened late. Okay, let's say it this way. भारत ने क्रिकेट खेलना तो काफी पहले शुरू कर दिया था। 1950 के दशक में भी, शायद 40 के दशक में भी हमारी क्रिकेट टीम थी। हमने क्रिकेट तो बहुत पहले खेलना शुरू कर दिया था। 1940 के दशक में भी हमारी क्रिकेट टीम थी, लेकिन वर्ल्ड कप हम 1983 के पहले नहीं जीत पाए। वर्ल्ड कप हम लोग जाकर जीते 1983 में। हम लोग वर्ल्ड कप जाकर जीते 1983 में। क्रिकेट तो हम लोग काफी सालों से खेल रहे थे, लेकिन हम लोग वर्ल्ड कप जीते जाके 1983 में। ओके, सो लेट्स से इट दिस वे, इंडिया started playing cricket a long time ago. We had a cricket team in 1940s as well. Even before independence, I think we had a cricket team. But it wasn't until 1983 that we won the World Cup of Cricket. और बताता हूं, हम लोग क्रिकेट तो काफी समय से खेल रहे थे, लेकिन 1990 में जाकर हम लोग की टीम बाहर में जीतना शुरू की। उसके पहले हम लोग ज्यादा बाहर नहीं जीतते थे। We started playing cricket a long time ago, but it wasn't until 1990s. It wasn't until 1990s that we started winning matches out of India as well. Okay, so I remember the time. और sentences ले सकते बेटा। और जैसे शादी तो उसकी हो गई थी 1987 में, लेकिन उसका पहला बच्चा 1998 में हुआ, शादी के 11 साल बाद। So when you want to show such delay, okay, then you say she got married in 1987, but it wasn't until 1998 that she became a mother. That बोलते हैं बेटा, यहाँ पे गौर करना है यहाँ, okay, that it wasn't until 1998 that she became a mother. Nearly 11 years after her wedding, nearly 11 years after she got married. So I hope you understood this arrangement. ये क्या काम करता है बेटा, ये डिले दिखाता है। जब आप नेगेटिव सेंटेंस लेते हो wasn't और साथ में until भी लेते हो, तो this shows delay। और यहां देखना, it wasn't until 1686 that Now, the situation is going, look, from the 13th century, 1200 something, from the 13th century, ice cream was available to Italians. Then it reached in the 16th century, it reached, France. In the 17th century, it reached England to Charles I. And it wasn't until 1686 that ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu. A Sicilian, Procopio dei Coltelli, opened the Cafe Procope in Paris and introduced Italian gelato. So it happened in France, okay, in Paris. Which restaurant was it? It was a French restaurant in Paris. A Sicilian, Procopio dei Coltelli, it is the name of this person. Sicilian is the nationality, just like we say an Australian, a Japanese. Similarly, a Sicilian, Procopio dei Coltelli, opened the Cafe Procope in Paris. The name of the cafe was the Cafe Procope. He opened this restaurant, this cafe in Paris, and introduced Italian gelato. Italian gelato. By the way, gelato word is used in Italian language to refer to ice cream. All right, gelato is the word in Italian language for ice cream. Italian gelato. And those people who sell ice cream, they are called gelataio and gelataia. Okay. So because I'm learning a little Italian, so I know that. Ice cream seller, if it is a man who is selling ice cream, we call him gelataio. And if there is a woman who is selling ice cream, we call her gelataia. Agar मैं बोलो I'm a ice cream seller, I will say yo sono un gelataio. Yo sono un gelataio. Yo sono gelataio, like this. Okay, anyways. Introduced Italian gelato, this man, Sicilian Procopio dei Coltelli. It was made of milk. This Italian gelato was made of milk. It was made of milk. Learn, beta. आप लोग हमेशा ये सब चीजें सीखना चाहते हो, सामने रहता है निकल जाता है ध्यान से, okay? आप लोग ये जानना चाहते हो, you want to learn these things, okay? So pay attention. It was made of milk, cream, butter, and eggs. So this Italian gelato was made of milk, cream, butter, and eggs. More like the ice cream we know today. And this Italian gelato looked more like ice cream we know today. आज ice cream हम लोग कैसा जानते हैं, है ना? Creamy stuff. So it looked more like today's ice cream. This Italian gelato looked more like today's ice cream, more like the ice cream we know today. उसके पहले बहुत से आइसक्रीम बने होंगे. चाइनीज आइसक्रीम वाज राइस फ्रोजन इन मिल्क. अब वो तो आइसक्रीम कैसा होता होगा सोचो. फर्स्ट आइसक्रीम दैट वी नो अबाउट वाज आइसक्रीम फ्रोजन, सॉरी, राइस फ्रोजन इन मिल्क. Rice frozen in milk. Okay, so that was ice cream. So finally, ice cream was available to common people. Now, the 18th century to the 21st century, America and the world, ice cream traveled to America and the rest of the world as well. We don't know exactly when ice cream arrived. We don't know exactly when ice cream arrived. But in Hindi, when we say this sentence, हम लोग को पक्का पक्का नहीं पता है कि आइसक्रीम कब पहुंचा अमेरिका में कब पहुंचा. ठीक है, तो in English when we say this, ये कब पहुंचा में when did ice cream arrive नहीं करते बेटा. कुछ लोग बहुत मेहनत करके सीखते हैं इंग्लिश और वो सोचते हैं क्वेश्चन है तो इंग्लिश क्वेश्चन में डिड लगाते हैं. तो कब पहुंचा, when did ice cream arrive, ये तो सही है अगर आप पूछ रहे हो कब पहुंचा, when did ice cream arrive. लेकिन in the middle of the sentence, बीच में आप देखो कैसे लिखा होता है, we don't know exactly when ice cream arrived. ये पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस का अरेंजमेंट है ना, ice cream arrived, did नहीं, because ये when क्वेश्चन वर्ड नहीं है यहाँ पे. ओके, इसीलिए When is a question word, कोई भी question word होता है question word जब वो शुरू में होता है. When it comes in the middle now, in the middle of a sentence, it works as a conjunction. It works as a conjunction. जैसे पूछूं, what did you eat for dinner last night? Okay. Now this what is a question word, dear students. Listen to me carefully. There are two things you need, everybody, to improve your English. One, you need a lot of listening practice, which you can do with the help of the audio files. And two, you need some very, very useful explanation. Things that change the way you look at English words, okay? That kind of explanation. And I'm trying to give you that. But WH words are question words when they are the first words of the sentence, okay? For example, what did you eat for dinner last night? It's a question sentence. I'm asking, what did you eat? So what is a question word? And the arrangement is correct. What did you eat? But when I say, again, wait for some more. Um, uh, who did you eat your dinner with? Who did you eat your dinner with? Again, this is a question sentence. Who is a question word? Who did you eat your dinner with? Where did you eat your dinner last night? Where did you eat your dinner? Okay. So in all these questions, I used what, where, who. These are question words. And look at the arrangement. Did you eat? Did you eat? Did you eat? Because I'm asking a question. So this is natural. Did you eat? Okay. But these words, what, where, who, they become a conjunction, when they come in the middle of a sentence. They start joining two sentences. Listen to this. I know what you ate last night for dinner. I know what you ate. हमको पता है तुम क्या खाए थे. हमको पता है तुम क्या खाए थे. I know what you ate. अब ये what did you eat नहीं बोल रहे दोस्तों, okay? Because I know एक sentence है ना, I know, और उसके बाद you ate दूसरा sentence, उसको connect कर दिया what, join कर दिया. I know what you ate. Give me a second. Okay. I hope I will not sneeze more. Okay, so मुझे बताओगे, can you tell me, ये एक sentence है ना, can you tell me, और उसके बाद पूछ रहा हूँ, can you tell me where you ate your dinner last night? Can you tell me where you ate your dinner last night? So, similarly, we don't know. Okay, we don't know. This is a sentence. Now, we don't know when ice cream arrived in America. So please don't write, we don't know when did ice cream arrive. No, we don't know when ice cream arrived in America. It's not a question word anymore. It's just a connector, okay? We don't know exactly when ice cream arrived in America. पक्का तो हमें नहीं पता ice cream कब पहुंचा, but it was probably with European settlers in the early 1700s. But it was probably with European settlers. Now, the term European settlers might confuse you a little bit. Okay, settle, you know the verb settle. We say, I want to settle in New York. I want to settle in Delhi. Or sometimes people say, I want to settle down in Delhi like this. Okay, I'm not ready to settle down. I want to settle down. So when young people say, I'm not ready to settle down, they're saying, I'm not ready to have a steady life. I don't want to be married now. I want to explore, So they say, I'm not ready to settle down. Suppose you are dating a girl and she says, let's get married, and you don't want to be married yet. You want to explore your life, your opportunities and other things. You don't want to have a fixed life like most people have. So he says, listen, I love you and I like you very much, but I'm not ready to settle down yet. Okay. I'm not ready to settle down yet. So, um, settle. So those people who settle, they are called settlers. Okay. So a lot of people from Europe went and lived in America. They never came back. They made America their house. So they were originally Europeans. They were from different countries of Europe, from France, from America, sorry, from England, from Italy, from Germany, from different countries of Europe. They went and lived in America. They never came back. So we call them European settlers. So people believe that ice cream, reached America, arrived in America. Notice the word in. Ice cream arrived in America. If you want, you can make notes because these are very important grammar lessons as well. Ice cream arrived in America. Okay, we say arrived in America. America is a country, right? When you say the verb arrive, and then you want to say a place like a village, a town, a city, then you must say arrive in. Okay. And if you want to say a name of a building, then you say arrive at. For example, arrive at school, arrive at work, arrive at the cinema. Because normally cinema, work, school, these are buildings. So we say arrive at. And when we say cities, towns, villages, okay, then we say arrive in. With the word home, you don't use either. You simply say arrived home, okay? I arrived home. In other words, you say I got home. So when did ice cream reach America? Look, I'm asking a question, okay? So when did ice cream reach America? When did ice cream arrive in America? Well, we don't know for sure, but we believe that it was probably with European settlers in the early 1700s. In the early 1700s, lots of Europeans reached there. European settlers reached America, and maybe because ice cream was already there in France, in England, in Italy. So these people who came from these countries to America, they brought ice cream with them, ice cream recipe. They made ice cream in America as well. And this is how other people in America got to know about ice cream. So this is the story, this is the theory people believe, that ice cream arrived in America with European settlers in the early 1700s. We do know, we don't know one thing. एक चीज तो हमें नहीं पता कब आया, but we do know, लेकिन ये बात तो पक्का पता है, we do know that the first advertisement appeared in the New York Gazette in 1777. We do know that the first advertisement appeared in the New York Gazette. Okay, the New York Gazette is the name of a newspaper, okay, in the old times. So the first advertisement appeared, advertisement for ice cream. The first advertisement appeared in the New York Gazette in 1777. And the first ice cream parlor opened in New York City in 1790. So one thing is very clear, that ice cream reached America, before these things happened, because now you have advertisement for ice cream in the newspaper. The name of the newspaper was the New York Gazette. Okay. And the first ice cream parlor, ice cream parlor means a special dedicated shop for ice cream, right? Ice cream parlor, beauty parlor, a special dedicated shop for girls. That's why we call it beauty parlor. And similarly, an ice cream parlor is a special shop where you can only buy ice cream. You will not get shampoo there, right? You will not get rice there. You will not get fruit there. You will find only ice cream. There are some shops which sell only ice cream, variety of ice cream. Okay. So they are called ice cream parlors. So the first ice cream parlor opened in New York City in 1790. We also know that the first ice cream factory opened in Baltimore in 1851. One more thing that we are sure of, we have recorded information that the first ice cream factory opened in Baltimore in 1851. Understand? First time an ice cream factory opened in 1851. And you know what? Once ice cream factory started, factory means they would make ice cream in huge amounts, in big quantities. And that's how ice cream started reaching common people in a very easy way. Because then, the factory opened in 1851. Okay, but there is an interesting fact here. Ice cream factory opened in Baltimore in 1851, but grocery shops didn't start selling it, again, negative sentence, didn't, until the 1930s. The grocery shops didn't start selling it until the 1930s. Nearly 80 years gap between the first factory and ice cream being available in grocery shops. There is 80 years gap, guys. It's a long, long gap. You would believe that ice cream factory started in 1851. So ice cream should be available in grocery shops and all other shops, because when a factory is making something, they want to sell it, right? And ice cream is something everybody eats and has always liked. So it should have been available earlier in the shops. But grocery shops means, guys, shops which sell things for the kitchen, like rice, wheat flour, oil, spices, everything, biscuits. So those shops are called grocery shops. In Hindi, we call them banya ke dukaan. The grocery shops didn't start selling it until the 1930s. Some of you might say, sir, banya ke dukaan to aaj bhi nahi bechta ice cream. Okay, some don't, but a lot of them sell ice cream. They have a fridge and they have ice cream. So grocery shops started selling ice cream much, much later. Okay. Oh God, wait. Guys, I'll have to, okay, wait for a second. Give me a second. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm sorry, there was a little bit of problem with the electricity. A wire caught fire somehow. There was a little bit of a short circuit somewhere. The hot and cold wire, you know, and they touched and they were, I could see the sparks. It made me panic, but I reacted properly, I think. Okay. The problem has been taken care of. Uh, Give me a minute. Let me open the book again. Okay, so here we are. In English, it's very, very common. Again and again, I've taught you, negative sentence and until to show something happened. Because when the first ice cream factory opened in Baltimore in 1851, you would assume, आप ऐसा मान लेंगे, assume मतलब मान लेना, okay? You would assume that ice cream became available in grocery shops, in other shops easily, after a couple of years of that. But now, grocery shops didn't sell ice cream until the 1930s. The reason we don't know, the text doesn't tell us the reason why that happened. The popularity, we read the word as popularity. The popularity of ice cream grew and grew. The popularity of ice cream grew and grew. In 1946, the Americans celebrated victory in the Second World War with ice cream. Normally, people celebrate a victory with a bottle of champagne, right? But the Americans celebrated victory in the Second World War with ice cream. And in 1984, US President Ronald Reagan made, past tense of make, in 1984, past tense, made July National Ice Cream Month. He declared July as the National Ice Cream Month. Notice that the celebration took place in 1946. However, although the war ended in 1945, the war had ended in 1945, but the celebration happened in 1946 because the food rationing didn't end until 1946. Food rationing. I will tell you this phrase, food rationing. During a war, the country suffers a lot. In any war, in any country, they all suffer. So a very common thing happens, because you guys have not seen any severe war, so you do not know that the country spends all its resources on the war, because that's the most important thing when you are fighting a war. You have to win the war. So what is common during a war? People cannot buy things as freely as other times, when there is no war. For example, if you want to buy 1,000 kilo of rice today and you have the money, nobody will stop you from buying 1,000 kilo of rice. If you want to buy 200 liters of milk or oil, you can go and buy if you have money in the open market. But during a war, government sometimes put a limit. They put a limit that a man cannot buy more than this much amount in 1 month. So this kind of thing is called rationing. Now, if you are putting this limit on food, then you call it food rationing. That you cannot buy more than this much food. And to ensure that this happens, this rule or food rationing, to execute this plan, to execute this kind of orders, they have a special shops, or they will send, individuals to shops, private shops as well. That listen, you have to take Aadhaar card of everybody, and you have to enter how much food you have sold this person. Okay, and when that person goes to another shop to buy more, then first his Aadhaar card will be checked, how much food he has bought in this month. And if he has already bought up to the limit, then the shopkeeper will return and will say, sorry, you cannot buy any more food this month. Wait for the next month. So that kind of situation, that kind of thing is called food rationing. So you can understand food rationing takes place when we are in a crisis. Imagine in your family when everybody, you guys are earning lots of money, no problems, then your mother will not stop you from eating more rotis or more chicken. But if there is a crisis, then mummy will say, bhai, just 2 rotis everybody, okay? Don't ask for more. So mummy is also doing food rationing. Okay. So I'm trying to explain what ration means actually. The word is spelled Ration. Okay. In Sri Lanka, there is a big crisis, economic crisis there. So maybe there can be a petrol rationing as well, that, you will not get any petrol without showing your Aadhaar card, and a certain limit of petrol you can buy every month. You cannot buy more than that, So that kind of order will be called petrol rationing. The government has rationed the food. The government has rationed the food. Okay. So the food rationing did not end until 1946 because America was fighting a war, the Second World War. So there was a food rationing going on, okay? And that food rationing ended after the war in 1946. And that's why the celebration took place in 1946 when the food rationing was over, was lifted. I hope you understand what food rationing is. And now I'll tell you, we have special shops, where you go to buy food from the government at a very cheap price. Rice is 1 rupee a kilo, wheat is 1 rupee or 2 rupees a kilo, and we call it ration ki dukaan. Okay. And a lot of people in Bihar and UP and Jharkhand believe that ration means खाना, क्योंकि वहां से खाने मिलते हैं ना, राइस, व्हीट, ये सब चीजें मिलती है, चीनी. तो they think ration means खाना, क्योंकि राशन की दुकान. राशन पहले बोलते हैं, राशन की दुकान means वहां पे फूड एक certain quantity में मिलता है. When you go to a grocery shop, you can buy as much rice as you want. You can buy as much sugar as you want. But those shops give you a fixed amount of rice and sugar and wheat. That's why it is a rationed shop, rationed, okay? They will give you a ration amount of food. That's why they're ration shops, okay? Ration doesn't mean rice or wheat or sugar. Ration means a limit. Ration means a limit. So limit की दुकान है कि इतने ही मिलेंगे आपको, ज्यादा नहीं. Government has decided. So do you want me to take you to the dictionary and check out the meaning of the word ration maybe? There you go. Ration, ration. Food ration. A limited amount of something. Ration is a noun as well. A limited amount of something that one person is allowed to have, especially when there is not much of it available during a crisis. During the war, no one was allowed more than their ration of food. So their ration means their limit, okay? So you are going to buy your ration of food. आप जाते हो उन दुकानों से अपने ration of food खरीदने के लिए. It means अपने हिस्से का जो खाना है लिमिट है वो खरीदने के लिए. ओके, देयर कैन बी अ रैशन ऑन क्लोथिंग, रैशन ऑफ क्लोथिंग, रैशन ऑफ फ्यूल. ओके, तो रैशन, the total amount of food that is given to someone to be eaten during a particular activity and in particular period of time, especially an amount given to soldiers when they're fighting. Rations were frequently allocated in public to ensure fairness. और rations word use कर सकते हैं, rations वो चीजों के लिए भी, तो rations, ठीक है, rations, total amount of food that is given to someone, rations. यहाँ देखिए सेंटेंस, rations were frequently allocated in public to ensure fairness, कि ईमानदारी से सब कुछ हो, सफाई से सब कुछ हो, इसके लिए पब्लिक में rations बांटे जाते थे. rations, तो rations उस अमाउंट ऑफ फूड को भी कह सकते हैं जो दिया जा रहा है. ओके, rations. तो सिंगुलर और प्लूरल में फर्क देखिए. सिंगुलर मतलब लिमिट, लिमिटेड अमाउंट ऑफ समथिंग, और rations मतलब वो चीज ही हो गया है ना. rations were frequently allocated मतलब खाना, यहाँ rations मतलब खाना हो रहा है, a certain fixed amount जो आपको allowed है, rations, plural. Okay, so that was very interesting, and now we will go back to the text. Now, did you read this part as well? Ice cream, some amazing facts. Have you read the amazing facts about ice cream? Have you guys read the amazing facts? If you haven't read, then you should read first, and then I will read. And if you have already read, then I will read the text for you. But I think that is exercise 5 later, okay? We will first do the exercises here. We all know who Ronald Reagan was. Who was Ronald Reagan? From the text we just learned, he was a president of America. He was an American president. And what was his connection to ice cream? He made July the ice cream month, National Ice Cream Month. He made July National Ice Cream Month. That is what his connection to ice cream is. Give me a second, my mobile is ringing. Hello, Rishikesh. कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ा लेट से आइए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Oh, that's too late. हाँ, sure, no problems. Attend online, okay? Procopio dei Coltelli. Who was this person? He was a Sicilian. And what was his connection to ice cream? He was the man who opened a cafe in Paris and made ice cream available in his restaurant. Ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu in 1686, and it was Procopio dei Coltelli's restaurant. It was his restaurant. Lady Anne Fanshawe, who was she? She was an English cookery writer. She was English, okay, and she was a cookery writer. She wrote cookbooks. What is her connection to ice cream? Lady Anne Fanshawe, she wrote a recipe for ice cream in her cookbook. She was the first woman who made a recipe or who wrote a recipe for ice cream. in her cookbook. Right before Lady Anne Fanshawe, nobody ever mentioned ice cream recipe in a cookbook. Lady Anne Fanshawe wrote a recipe for ice cream in her cookbook, and she gave ice cream an interesting name, icy cream. Who was Charles the First? He was the King of England. And what was his connection? He had a French chef. His French chef made ice cream for a royal banquet, royal feast. Royal means Shahi. Shahi word in Hindi refers to related to the king and queen. Shahi khazana, Shahi darbar. You know, हालांकि शाही पनीर भी होता है जिसमें कोई राजा नहीं होता, but anyways, so Shahi royal royal banquet. His chef, French chef, made ice cream for a royal banquet, and Charles liked it so much that he gave him 500 pounds to keep the recipe secret. Catherine de Medici and Henry II. Okay, these two were a couple. Catherine was from Italy. Henry was the king of France, and Italy already knew about ice cream. So Catherine introduced her husband Henry to ice cream, and Henry liked ice cream very much. He became a fan of ice cream too. Now, exercise 3 is very interesting. It says, read the text again, work with a partner. The word first appears 5 times in the article. Find each one and try and find out what they refer to. So my suggestion to you would be, read the text and underline those sentences where you see the word first. You will find 5 uses of the word first in the whole text. Okay, so go ahead and do it now. When you spot those 5, firsts, then let me know. First of all, you have to find those sentences where you see the word first. There are total 5.
I have done, sir.
Did you find all the 5 examples?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody else? Let me know when you guys finish. I have created breakout rooms for you guys. I want you to notice, what the word first refers to. What does it refer to? Okay. Try and find out what it refers to, the word first.
I'm done, sir.
I'm opening the rooms. Great. I'm opening the rooms for you. With a partner or two, try and discuss what the word first refers to. What is the meaning of the word first? First kiske liye hai? Okay, try and find out. Accept the invitation. Kanak and Juhi, please accept the invitation. Who was your partner, Sanjeev?
Juhi, sir. She was Juhi. And he
Juhi.
didn't say anything.
Juhi.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
they are not found for the first appear.
They couldn't find the word first.
Yes, sir. They didn't understand, sir.
If Akhilesh didn't understand, no problems. Akhilesh is a new student. He's been here for a week. Okay. But if Samir didn't understand, then there is a
Yes, sir. Samir find only 3 appear.
okay.
But
So
I have
go ahead.
I have find
Tell me,
I
where is the
found
first?
all
Achilles said me, you read the story. Tell us the story.
So where is the word first? The first time. Where is the first?
It's in the
The
last.
Italians
first
become the first
people
people in
the
Europe
first
to
people
enjoy
in
this
Iran
luxury.
to enjoy the luxury.
So here, the first refers to Italians.
Yes. No.
The Italians became the first people in Europe. The first people. This first is an adjective, an adverb. What is it?
The first.
Adverb.
It's an adjective.
It's an adjective
First.
now. It describes
Yes, sir.
people. people, the
It
first
describes
people.
noun.
Yeah, it describes a noun. People is a noun, right? The first people. Italians became the first people in Europe to enjoy this luxury. So this first is an adjective. Where is the second first, guys? Where is the second first in the text?
The ice cream first appeared on a restaurant menu.
Right. Ice cream first appeared
Yes.
on a restaurant menu.
On a restaurant menu.
Now, when you look at this first, what do you think? This first, ice cream first appeared. पहली बार आया आइसक्रीम अपीयर हुआ यानी दिखने लगा रेस्टोरेंट मेन्यू पे पहली बार दिखा राइट आइसक्रीम फर्स्ट अपीयर्ड ऑन अ रेस्टोरेंट मेन्यू नाउ माय क्वेश्चन वुड बी is this first an adjective or an adverb?
An adverb, sir.
It's an adverb.
It's an adverb because ice cream appeared, right? Ice cream
Yeah,
first
it
appeared.
describes verb.
It describes a verb. It first appeared on a restaurant menu. Okay. Next. Where is the
Next
third
page,
first?
sir. Next page.
Next page. On the next page. Okay. Where is the word? The first advertisement appeared. The first advertisement appeared. Now, when you look at the first advertisement, what do you realize the word first is?
Adverb. Sir.
The first.
Beta, the first advertisement.
The first is the subject, sir.
Subject तो बात की चीज है बेटा. It is an adjective or adverb. ये सवाल है.
Okay.
और subject हमेशा एक noun.
An adjective, sir.
It's an adjective, यार. Because
Adjective.
advertisement is a noun.
Advertisement.
Advertisement noun. And the first advertisement, पहला advertisement. Okay. The first advertisement appeared. पहला advertisement आया in the New York Gazette. So, ये first क्या है? Adjective है.
The first.
Where is the fourth first? Where is the fourth first?
The first ice cream
The first ice cream
parlor
parlor
opened
in
in New York
Sir.
City in 1790.
What about this first?
The fourth.
The first ice cream factory opened in Baltimore. What do you think about this word first?
I think an adjective.
It was an adjective, sir.
It is an adjective because the first ice cream factory is a noun. The first factory, it is an adjective. It is an adjective. And where is the fifth first?
Mm,
The first
the f-
Guys, where is the fifth first?
the first ice cream factory opened in
We check that. We
Baltimore
check that.
1851.
uh,
This is
1821.
It is
the first ice cream parlor opened in New York City, sir, in 1790.
Oh, yes. The first ice cream parlor. We missed this. Yeah, 3. Okay, the first ice cream parlor. What about this first?
An adjective.
It's an adjective, right, Srishti? The first
Yes.
ice cream parlor. Parlor is a shop, a noun. The first ice cream parlor.
Parlor.
So notice, we say the first as an adjective. For example, मेरी पहली girlfriend कैसे बोलेंगे? My first girlfriend, right? My first girlfriend. एक adjective है ना?
Yeah.
The first prime minister of India. The first prime minister of
Prime
India.
Minister
बोलना
of
बेटा?
India. The
The
first
first
Prime Minister of India.
The first Prime Minister
Yes.
of India.
तो आप देखना जब एडजेक्टिव बोलते हो ना तो आप बोलते हो द फर्स्ट, द फर्स्ट, द फर्स्ट, ओके। अब देखना एडवर्ब जब आप बोले, देयर वाज वन एग्जांपल ऑफ एडवर्ब ओनली। नाउ आइसक्रीम first appeared on a restaurant menu। पहली बार आया, यहाँ द नहीं है ना, आइसक्रीम फर्स्ट अपीयर्ड, पहली बार आया। तो मैं तुमसे पहली बार मिला, आई फर्स्ट मेट यू, सुना है ये लाइन? आई
The
फर्स्ट
first
मेट
met
यू, आई फर्स्ट मेट
Okay.
यू। अच्छा एक सवाल, व्हेन डिड यू लास्ट वॉच अ मूवी एट द सिनेमा? When did you last get a gift? ये सब सेंटेंस सुना है ना? When did you last get a present? When did you
Yes.
last eat? तो लास्ट के जगह फर्स्ट बोल दे तो हो जाएगा पहली बार। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तुम पहली बार कब सिनेमा गए अकेले? When did you first go to the cinema alone? When did you first go to the cinema alone? तो ये एडवर्ब है। बाकी सब जगह एडजेक्टिव। एंड the first people, the first advertisement, the first ice cream parlor, the first ice cream factory. So please understand, when we use it as the adjective, it is always the first, right? And as an adverb, we say first before the verb. Verb के पहले बोल देते हैं। हम पहले आए थे तो हमको पहले दीजिए। I first arrived, so I will get it first. Okay, I arrived here first, so I'll get it first. Okay. तो पहला, the first, पहली महिला प्रधानमंत्री, फर्स्ट, द फर्स्ट और फर्स्ट क्या बोलेंगे? पहली महिला प्रधानमंत्री।
The first prime minister.
The first female prime minister. The first
Female
female
prime
prime
minister.
minister. Okay. The first female prime minister. Very good.
Time is it, sir?
Time is up. 7:31. Yes. Okay. Homework. Exercise 4 and 5. Exercise 4 and 5 will be your homework for tomorrow. Everyone. Exercise 4 and 5. I have to share with you the audio file 8.10. I will send it right after the class. Okay. That's all for today. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Take care.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye. Bye-bye.